Dude, remember when in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, where the boy and the dog that was at the lake, his name is Billy, and they heard some weird stuff going on. So the dog Spot went to go look, and he was like, "Hey Spot, what is going on over there?" And the dog was like, "I don't know, Billy. Let me go check over there."
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes! Attack of the Killer Tomatoes!
Oh my god, I just laughed out loud when I first saw that. I first saw it when I was a kid, and then I watched it later, and I just burst out laughing. I totally forgot that happened. That movie's great. That movie's so great.
Yeah, it's like the most random thing in the world, because you see this lonely kid fishing with his dog, and then all of a sudden his dog's like, "Gee, Billy, I don't know. Let me go check." Like, it's just like this weird voice, that you don't expect to come out of nowhere. It's like watching those old kung fu movies with those weird dub voiceovers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like this totally normal setting, and then they just cut to the next scene.
Right.
But it definitely was like, trying to play off the whole Lassie when, I think his name was Timmy or whatever, would ask Lassie, "What is it, girl?
Right.
What's going on?" And you never hear anything. It's like barking, but what if the dog talked?
Right. Dude, that's what I love about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is it's this outrageous horror movie, but it's not just like a horror movie. It's a comedy. It's got those musical aspects to it. It's just kind of that well-rounded like B movie that's fun. You don't want to take it too seriously, and it's just completely out there.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's such an oddball movie with everything, too. The thing that I always found so intriguing with this stuff is when you watch these characters and these actors perform this, it's like, who the hell sold them on this movie? When they sit there and they go, "Hey, here's what we want you to do. Here's the premise. Here's what's going on. Like, just do it." And it's just like the most ridiculous performances you get out of these people. They're just like, where'd you find these people to do this? Like,
But see, we don't take it seriously, but everybody in the movie was taking it very seriously. That's what was so hilarious. And you're like, this is so far-fetched, but it's so entertaining. It's not boring. It's so good. I mean, they just break out a song and dance.
Totally. And they even have like the little cameos, like that random Superman cameo where he's just like, "Hey, Lois." "Well, hey, Clark." Up and away. Like, it's just...
And the guy is like,
stared at this guy, like, what is going on?
It's almost what this movie is like a bunch of mini, like, little sketches that they were like, let's put this together. Well, we need a plot. Tomatoes are killing people. Let's go.
Yeah. I heard someone, like, kind of doing a review on the movie a while back, and they described it as, like, a cover or a cross between, like, Airplane and Mars Attacks. Because, like, at the end, you find out that these tomatoes can be shrunken by this like really terrible song, and then it's just like, wait, what? And the song's called "Puberty Love," and I'm like, it's probably the most 70s song you could come up with for this movie.
It sounds terrible. It's like,
And then the last tomato has earmuffs on to like block the sound, so they just bring out the sheet music, dude.
They're like pieces of lettuce. Like,
yeah.
Like, how did he even get it there?
I love when you see all the big tomatoes moving around too, because clearly they've used these throughout the whole production, and like the styrofoam and the paint is starting to wear off. So like they're not all red anymore.
I have to say, we have to give credit to the person who actually rolled the tomatoes, because they were perfectly rolled down the sidewalks and everything. Like, wow, I can't even throw a ball like that.
The next time we watch it, we should look in the credits to see if they give credit to like the tomato thrower. Like, who's the guy behind the camera chucking these big tomatoes at people, and rolling them down the street? Like,
probably got like first assistant to the tomato thrower, second assistant to the tomato thrower.
Then you have like the lonely like temp who's like bringing them coffee in between takes,
Oh my gosh, that's like one huge accolade to give to this movie too. It's like the cinematography and the quick cuts with everything. Like, how did you make this so interesting? Where like you just throw a tomato and the quick cuts. It's like, I'm buying into this at least enough with the goofiness of the movie that these things are killing people. Like, they do a good enough job with the cuts and the shots to really sell the fact that here's a tomato sitting on the counter, but I just bought the fact that it murdered somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it was so funny. They did a Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and then
Oh,
they did
yeah.
a cartoon. I used to watch
That's
that
right.
cartoon.
Yeah, the damn cartoon.
So it was selling. It was selling at the time, and
They did.
I think they did such a good job. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous, and you're just entertained throughout the entire time. That was really good stuff. Way
For
back
sure.
when.
Yeah, no, they definitely did something right. And I think, I think that's something that you love to see nowadays, especially is when, more of your independent movies kind of go that route. They go for something that's completely out there, but they're able to make it work and give, everyone a super entertaining experience. So
It's like that kind of movie was like the Sci-Fi Channel before the Sci-Fi Channel. Like,
Right.
like the Sharknadoes and all that crazy stuff. Like, this was almost just like, if it wasn't for this movie, you don't have a Sci-Fi Channel,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's all you.
Oh, I was going to say that the one of the second most funniest thing besides the kid and the dog is when you see the helicopter and it's like spinning and spinning, and he was saying, kamikaze tomatoes. It flew in there. It's like, dude, they don't fly.
And then it comes down and they're just like, forget the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
He's like burning in there with the tomato, and it's like,
forget that guy. Carry on. We're on to the next scene.
yeah, it's straight classic fun.
Yeah.
That's a lot of films in the 80s were like that. Just straight up ridiculous, fun, classic, just good time.
Yep. Yeah, you said it best. But yeah, no, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, kick-ass movie. I want to thank you, Ivatrice, for joining us here at Dude Remember When. To all of our followers, please go follow her channel. It's Horror Movies and Beyond.